The Bat has been revealed. Ultimate Survivor Edition on Game Pass. And an early access to not ARK 2. You're right kids, it's Raasclark and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. So the community crunch dropped last night, finally revealing the Desmodus Draculae in all its glory. As the devs say, even with all the other monstrosities around here, this fugitive from a creature double feature deserves top billing. I mean, Dracula's right there in its species name, and Desmodus has a shriek that'll scare just about anything out of its way. It's also shrewd enough to limit itself to victims that it can carry off into the night. Although I'm not superstitious enough to advise stocking up on garlic and steaks before you decide to track down Desmodus for yourself, I'd still advise you to hunt these horrors out in the light and away from their caves. They seem uniquely adept at flying and hiding in those dark, narrow spaces, meaning that this will certainly probably be available to tame in caves and caves only, which begs the question, how big is this actually going to be? We already know that this is going to be a much bigger creature than it factually is going to be. And yes, a big question out there was asked, is this thing rideable? Can you ride it? Yes. As Said wrote himself, the rideable bat, this is confirmed to be a rideable mount. A lot of you out there were concerned it wasn't going to be. But once tamed, these beasties let you add its eerie abilities to your arsenal. Use their unsettling scream to scatter your enemies. Command Desmodus to snatch up small prey for you. Let its uncanny power to vanish into darkness, becoming your personal stealth mode. Desmodus has blood thinner in its saliva, which drains prey of more blood than this vampire could ever digest. If you can stomach the excess blood and drained meat your vampire pet leaves behind, you might be open-minded enough to appreciate another of its unholy gifts, a elixir that helps enthrall the most stubborn beasts. Meaning somehow or other the Desmodus is going to be able to enchant creatures, larger creatures, put them in a trance-like mode, probably essentially just stun them. I'm expecting it's going to simply be defined as, but maybe have some noggling light powers? Is that where we're going with this? It certainly sounds like it's going to have a wide variety of abilities, like have a scatter ability, repel creatures away like the Parasaur, or kind of like the Cinemacrops, but maybe on a larger scale. It's going to be able to pick up creatures and have a stealth mode. What exactly does that entail? Are we going to have Rock Drake-like cloaking abilities at night on a flyer? Oh! If that's true, that's going to be pretty boss to see. Maybe you can only do that at night. It seems to read that way, obviously working a bit like the Megalosaurus. And there seems to be a possible blood draining ability from this creature. All very cool abilities. I'm very much looking forward to see when this finally drops to Fjorda in hopefully summer of this year. Coming with us, the Andrewsarchus and the Fjordhawk, of which the latter has its own concept work, but the former does not. The Andrewsarchus is the only one of the three now that hasn't got its own actual concept artwork like the Fjordhawk and of course now the Desmodus Draculae. I definitely love the look of this thing, and it seems that it's going to be spawning in the volcano area, of course there being a volcanic island on Fjorda. And in fact, could this be a little glimmery look at the new version of Fjorda? Of course, it having somewhat of a big, huge facelift, rejuvenating Fjorda, especially for those players that have already played through the mod iteration, like me, of course, looking for a new venture, which Fjorda is certainly going to be offering. But it is worth noting, any mention of that June release date has now been gone, disappeared. It's not in the wording anymore, as in this article it says just simply upcoming free DLC map, meaning this may be coming out a bit later than initially announced. We'll have to wait and see on some confirmation on that. I kind of assumed, a lot of you out there assumed it was going to be pushed back a month or two, but maybe it might still be on track. We'll have to wait and see. You've got an Evo event this weekend, lucky you. Apparently you wasn't going to get any Evo events until, of course, Love Evolved drops next week. But running until Feb the 7th, you've got a bit of 2 times on officials, 4.5 times on small tribes, 5 times on ARK and 6 times on classic. So it was recently announced by Xbox that ARK Ultimate Survivor Edition is coming to Game Pass. Lest we forget, Ultimate Survivor Edition was only really released less than 1 year ago for the grand sum of $49.99 of your British fine pounds, and is now on Game Pass, which of course is the subscription which you pay every month, getting access to a wide range of games. And now you are going to have the full edition of ARK, including every bit of ARK you could want locked up in a Game Pass, which, if you think about it, could cost you £1 singular, at least for your first month, if signing up for it if you haven't already. Game Pass is becoming a big thing, having access to so many titles for a very small monthly fee. And when exactly can you get your hands on this if you do own Game Pass? February the 14th, of course, Valentine's Day is when it's dropping. Ultimate Edition is the Ultimate Survivor Edition. There is just no other way to describe it. It offers everything. Every single paid map in the game. That's the Island, Scorched Earth, Aberration, Extinction, Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. So if you own an Xbox or even a PC, of course, being able to play Windows 10 games on there as well. There's really no brainer if you don't own the entirety of ARK. It's £1 for a month. You know, you might as well jump in at that. And once again, giving more reason to play ARK on Microsoft's platforms. PlayStation players, I don't even know what to say for you anymore. Can't even speak for you. Of course, there is a petition going out for the enhancement upgrade. If you don't know about that, I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want to sign up to that. And of course, tell the devs that you just need some love. Please, PlayStation, get some love. And we're back again looking at ARK 2, of course, having no details whatsoever yet. Nothing has been dropped to elude what we are going to expect for this game. That I am so certain now. Well, I'm not super certain, but I'm pretty close to certain that we aren't going to see this year. It's going to be next year. Maybe a very slim chance we might see this right at the end of the year. But a thing has been doing the rounds that I certainly need to draw attention to. The devs reached out to the wider community recently to tell them, don't get involved with this email if you see it. It's obviously not from Wildcard. It's a Gmail account. It's not Dolly, it's Dolly not. But it does read as follows. Hey there, of course, reaching out to content creators around the YouTube globe. I am reaching out from Studio Wildcard about a possible partnership for ARK 2. We will be giving content creators early access to the game when it's in an early access state. Late April, early May. It's not those dates, I'm telling you now, I assure you now. It will be for one weekend and there will be a couple of servers, PvE and PvP, available to play on. Single player will also be available. We want you to make an honest review about the game. It should be longer than 5 minutes and include gameplay as well as your thoughts on the game. If possible, it would be very beneficial to get on a Skype or Discord call to discuss the finer details of the arrangement. Please reply to this email address if you would like to discuss details with a link. Don't click on those links. If you have received this email, please do not access it, involved with it. Just let it burn into the spam place that it needs to burn into, or report it. These are not coming from Wildcard. It's been confirmed by Wildcard. It's not, obviously not, like Dolly not. It's not Dolly's email. It would be addressed from Wildcard. It's interesting, of course, to see this screenshot shared was addressed to Caesar, who we recently touched on regarding a bit of a YouTube drama. Maybe it was involving the other parties in that. Maybe it's just some angered community member wanted to reach out to Caesar. I don't know if this went out to other people out there. There's no proof of it, but Wildcard have said that other people have received this email. So I am here to tell you, don't open any links if you see this email, and just share it around. Let other people know if you do get this. It's not from Wildcard. There is no ARK 2. You cannot play ARK 2. You will not be able to play ARK 2, especially in late April, early May. And that completes your news for today. Don't forget, Love Evolved, the event is coming out next week. I'll have a guide for you when that does drop, with everything about it, what it does, what you can do to unlock everything. If you've not seen a guide, I've already got a guide out there actually. If you want to go and check that out, I'll leave a link to that in the description. What do you think about the Desmodus Draculae? Drop a comment below, let me know. I want to hear if you think the Desmodus, the bat, is the next new flyer, king of the flying world. I might think it might be with this invisibility little mechanic. If it's got that, this could be a bit of a beast in the air. And I would also love to know, those of you out there that have Game Pass or don't have Game Pass, in fact, no, don't have Game Pass, are you going to get Game Pass in order to play ARK Ultimate Survivor Edition? Just interested, comment below. My name's Raasclark, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.